Make sure we sift the espresso. I have these little cups from Japan. I've been using local Tennessee honey, 100% pure. This one kind of has a little bit of a weird aftertaste alone, but when it's in coffee, it actually tastes really good. I usually put a rubber band on it so it's easier to open. Here's about how much honey I put in there. Put it directly in my cup, and then the espresso just goes right over it, and then I'll mix it together while it's still warm. I also put a little bit of cinnamon so that it adds more depth of flavor. We get it ready to yield the espresso. Now we mix it together. I've been using regular milk, it's organic. The best part right here. Whenever I wake up in the morning, I'm never in like a cute pajama set. I'm usually just in a big t-shirt. I wish I could be the kind of girl that wakes up in a cute little matching set. In the morning before a workout, usually I'll just have a banana. That way I have a little bit of fuel before the workout. These are organic, but sometimes I don't care as much about bananas because it's like a thicker skin. I've heard that with organic berries and things that don't have skin, it's more important to have organic. So if you're on a budget, I typically gravitate towards organic berries, but then bananas and oranges, things like that, I'm not as picky. We just had a prune, might have another one, and then we're making breakfast right now. Gonna do avocado. We meal prepped this turkey ahead of time. It's pretty well seasoned, so we'll just microwave that and then boil some eggs, and I'll show you what it looks like after. When boiling eggs, I've been doing about 4 minutes once it starts boiling, and that creates the perfect soft-boiled egg with a little bit of a runny yolk. I have ground turkey, cottage cheese, half an avocado, and then drizzled some olive oil with salt, and then I'll pick out a few of these blackberries too. Also, once a day, usually before I go for a long walk, I'll take 1 pack of these electrolytes. This is the Element brand. This is a limited edition flavor. It's super yummy. I was considering mixing some of this and the raspberry together to create a little raspberry lemonade. My partner and I have been trying lots of different diets. Right now we're focusing on high protein, low carb. It's not a forever thing. We're just trying to figure out what makes sense for us. We're just minimizing our bread and pasta consumption right now. Usually we'll have a later breakfast around 11, and then we'll snack throughout the day and then have a pretty large dinner, usually between 6 and 7. We've been trying to go for evening walks before bed. That way we're not so full going to sleep at night. I think we've both been enjoying the diet so far. It hasn't really felt too restrictive. I've also really been minimizing sweet treats. I'm not having any sweet treats at the end of the night. Really, the only thing we're doing is adding honey to the coffee and also a little bit of sweetness to the yogurt, but other than that, we're trying to keep it clean. I've also felt like dairy can be inflammatory to me. Down the road, I might tweak it a little bit and cut out some of the dairy, which I would be very sad about. Anyway, just wanted to give a little background. As of right now, our diet might seem a little restrictive to some people, but we're just trying to figure out what works for us. What might work for my partner also might not work for me, which is something that we'll also have to deal with. Anyway, we can get back to the cooking. I'm not super big into supplements, but one of the things I take every day is a pre and probiotic. This is from Nuco. I found this to be one of the cleanest on the market and also works really well for me. I take 2 a day, usually with food, but some people say you can take it without food. I also feel like sickness is going around. I've been taking these defense drops under the tongue. There's echinacea in here, all sorts of great ingredients. I just cut up some strawberries. These are organic, and then a handful of almonds. This is just a little snack for now. I don't know if you guys have had this before, but it's 20 grams of protein. And it's really just like whey protein is what they put in here. But these are really tasty, and they feel like a little treat with minimal sugar. not the prettiest meal, but there's mushroom, steak, and sweet potato. There's definitely a lot here, but I'm super hungry. In the evening, usually I've just been drinking a little bit of peppermint tea. That's been my sweet treat, which is pretty sad. This is organic peppermint. I'd like to get away from using the little bags, but for now, these are really convenient.